Hi Aquarius, if you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. My name is Steph. I've created an ink blot made in your name and essence that we are going to scry for shapes and symbols that speak to our psyche and psychic senses. As well, we'll add on tarot and oracle, and where the ghost gift is here, we're actually going to utilize Ghost Tube Seer for a visual inspiration should anything arise to inspire or irritate. So please do receive or release freely. Aquas, when you're ready, I'm going to take a moment to open up. You're welcome to join me, and then we'll reveal your Rorschach. If you'd like to, take a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of Aquarius. Aquas, thank you so much for being here, for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. All right, let's go. So I've got your scroll here in this fun little container. We'll grab your scroll. We'll grab you a rune. So we have the llama coming through and one more. And we also have the hummingbird, dreams. Just going to put that off to the side. If these animal totems mean anything to you, please see, sense, and feel for yourself, of course. Tune in. And let's reveal your Rorschach. Aquarius, Aquarius. All right, there we go. If anything is standing out to you, please follow that first, utilizing your own intuition. All right, sorry if I'm being fussy as well, but alas. Interestingly enough, with the dreams card, or the dreams rune there, I wasn't recording, I was just setting up for your reading, and a bird came in on the image. So that's very interesting for me, Aquas. I feel like you've been dreaming of something. Oh, okay. So there is, this might be an owl, very wise glasses. You see these glasses right here. Wings of creation, I'm hearing. I feel like I'm a little bit pulled in right now, Aquas. It has purpose. It has purpose. It is though I am seeing the veins of a plant or the wings of a bird as a fingerprint. So I feel, I feel as though, how do I say? I'm going to put my fingerprint on something or something along that lines. It feels very personal, but whatever this creation is, personal, professional, corporate, creative, like you're putting your stamp on something. And what more individual is it, like your thumbprint or a fingerprint? Really putting your fingerprint on something as well. Even if it's a collaborative effort, there's something about your input, there's something about your energy that just makes it very individual, like a snowflake or the rings of a tree or the bark or something like that. I'm also seeing, okay, I don't know what to call it. If you're on a phone, you can zoom in. There's a being here with his arms open. And it kind of gives me magician vibes, but it's, if I'm being honest, it's more like Grim Reaper revealing what has been transmuted, what I have cared for. Distinguished is a word I'm specifically hearing. And how that's going to be presented. Maybe it's in this fingerprint. It's like taking the ashes after like your wood stove, or maybe something symbolically that you have held in that sacred space, and you're adding water to it, like tears. You're adding different herbs, different materials. I just heard different materials specifically. And then you can make bricks, and then you can carve those bricks, or you can use those bricks to stack things. create foundations. This is how I'm feeling in your reading quite specifically. And it's like making a dream come true. But there's been a lot of, okay, because I'm seeing a gremlin here, but it's like a cycloptic gremlin. So there's been sacrifices of maybe not. Okay, so just going with the gremlin analogy, and I'll receive because it's simple. I don't need to reinvent the wheel here. Like, don't eat past midnight or don't get them wet. Whatever the rules are of the gremlins, so they stay cozy and sweet. And you've done that. You have honored certain boundaries within the self or with others. And reflectively, okay, as you have made these sacrifices, but they're not sacrificial where they have resentments. They're blatant choices that I've made. This is how I'm feeling in your aura. And I understood what they could compile towards. And by doing this, like in your own history, your holistic history, it's been building something, and reflectively to the outside world, to your family, to your coworkers, whatever the case may be, you've been diligently doing something, even hidden or quietly, and it's reflected in the respect that you give others. Does that make sense? It's like the self-respect that you have is reflected by the respect you give others. I hope that makes sense in there. You've been listening to something, because I'm seeing a mouse and an elephant. Thank you. Okay, a mouse and an elephant. No? Okay, thank you. You've had this ability, the way I'm sensing it is to, because I'm seeing the elephant with the trunk, picking up water and spraying its back. Like that saying, you wash my back, I'll wash yours, or whatever it may be. But Aqua's, the way I'm seeing it is like you can almost like shape shift your energy to understand how you can utilize your senses to support. So there's something in the back. There's something, now maybe you've been, working on your posturing. Again, it's bringing me back to that fingerprint thing. Maybe you've been working on your past. It's not so much about changing the story per se, but it's almost as if I'm kind of cleansing the palette. By every little thing that you've been doing, it's all adding up to where you are, where you want to be, towards this dream, wish, or desire. There's been some form of acceptance. What's this unseen? Okay, see this? I'm going to bring this up for you so you can see her. See this creature. Well, she is, I guess, a lady. But see her motioning? I'm going to bring you back down here. Right? This is her. Like you're coming back with a vengeance, but not vengeance for others. It's for the self. Like something is being reborn, re-risen within the self, working from the shadows into your own shine. But this isn't about like leaving the shadow and saying the past or this, that. There's just, it's all love here. It's all love. And that's the ash that has been created into something. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay. And then with the Kraken and acceptance, sorry, there we go. If you can see those, if you want to take in any of the artistry that may be standing out to you, please follow that, or the words. Always follow your own intuition first. And if you haven't already, please do consider like, sharing, and subscribing. You guys warm my haunted heart, Aquas, and I appreciate you. Because I'm hearing that song by whomever, Building a Mystery, and it's been in your mind. Some of you might be writers, because I'm seeing ink coming through, or you are creating speeches, preparing for a speech. I kind of feel like some of you are preparing for a speech. And in this acceptance card of hell, it's giving me that grim Reaper vibe, but in a really, really good way. Like it's been a delicate procedure. You have been working, diligently. I can't get around it. Diligently. even, how do I say? It's like having a farm of llamas. Okay, we'll take the llama here for a second, and I will get the spirit card to see what the actual message is. And figuring out different ways to utilize the wool and other attributes that the llama offers naturally in return for your nurturing care, stabilizing with creating maybe housing or fencing for it, protecting it from predators. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you're reaping the rewards for, okay, I just heard receiving riches for the rewards, for the responsibilities you've taken on reflectively, and now they're being reflected, preparing to be reflected. Okay. I'm going to keep moving up your bookmark here. And we'll flip it for another time for later on in February for perspective possibilities. So that'll be fun, and I look forward to that. It's like you can hear memories. I can even hear the recall. I can hear myself, because I'm seeing it like a Rolodex that's been cleaned out. Okay, so it's like I've digitized something. I've gone through my Rolodex, removed maybe people that have left, even ideas that I've had that I tried, or I'm like, you know what, I'm going to leave that for someone else in the world to bring into manifestation, whatever the case may be. And then it's like taking the Rolodex and you're digitizing it. You're digitizing it. I don't even know it. It is what it is. That's what you're doing. Give me a moment. Sorry, now I'm scrying through the camera because it's very different, and I quite appreciate it. Okay, so in here, there is, I think it's like if there's some sort of commitment, if this was to yourself. Okay, so I'm getting the word specifically consciousness. Yep, we're still here. Nothing has come up on the ghost tube. Sorry if that's not clear. See if I can bring it over. Could be another person. I feel like it's highly supported by... Okay, so there's like the Kraken. Somebody else with like a busy mind, and this commitment works well together, because then I see like okay, it's empowering. That's what it is. Because here, see, again, I'm going to bring this up for you so you can see it. See her motions. For whatever reason, in your cards and even in your ink, it's about like that posturing. And I feel like I'm very, very open to receive, even in the mind of the acceptance card. I've accepted something in my mind. Again, maybe Rolodex, I just got to accept that. There's something I've accepted. And it brings together like this cradling that has grown up now. A growing up. Give me a moment. Familiar is coming through. I'll bring you back down here so you can see this with me. Familiar, bond with your spirit animal. Okay, so maybe the llama or the hummingbird really means something to you. I apologize if that was like a weird blank moment, but there's something in your energy that I kind of feel like I'm in between the lines or the veins of what would be that fingerprint in these spirals here. And it's almost like I'm seeing if there's like a little whirlpool and it could take things down. But here's the interesting thing, it's not in a drowning way. And maybe you have felt that before, but I feel like it's more of a flushing. If things organically come into like this whirlpool of sorts, it's not big and massive. It's almost like just in your energy, almost like a vacuum. And it can draw things down, and it works from the ground up. And I feel like maybe this is how I'm going to be interacting with other people, places, or things. There is some sort of commitment here. I also want to acknowledge if it's external to me, another person, a job, whatever the case is. And I'm seeing it. It's being mysterious, but there's a lot of intelligence there. It's like a nurturing back and forth. Again, like having the llama farm and then the llama giving back. But here's like the ground up feeling. It's like I'm just moving up from the bottom of the water. I feel like I've been in a deep trance for some time. Look at that, deep water. Like I've been in the deep water. Like a transcendental meditation, and I'm starting to rise up. Spirit's been with you the whole time. Thank you. I see you. Whatever spirit means to you, spirit guides, they've helped you accept something, and it was very important because now I'm seeing like, is it Cinco de Mayo? Okay, and then your next message coming through is, I didn't even read it, brave, don't self-sabotage. Again, look at those arms. Arms. Anything else for the aquas before I get ready to go to the rune? See, even in this brave, don't self-sabotage, and of course, it's almost like a distraction of don't go looking for the old Rolodex when you've like burned away the ones that were dead, done, over with. If they are meant to come back in, it's like they'll go through this little whirlpool in your energy and sometimes pop right back up. Like it's like they're spit back out, and that's up to you to decide. Aquas. Again, if anything in the artistry is standing out to you, you have Edgar Allan Poe. Somebody might really write, but just holding back speaking, or I'm not saying much. Okay, so I'm also seeing in the band Tragically Hip, very famous Canadian band, staple in our culture up here. And he has since passed, but he used to wear a scarf or something around his neck while he was singing, and he would say it was helped to, if I recall, to keep his vocal cords warm, even while he was like presenting, especially later on before he was passing. And yeah, something about that. And he was told that tip from somebody in his career. And there's also, if I remember, and forgive me if I'm wrong, like going back in to the beginning where the Tragically Hip had like their first few concerts, and there was like 5 people there or 10 people. But they grew, and they weren't concerned where they didn't grow. Like if, you know, and if internationally they weren't known, or in America, or in the US, sorry, but they were very much so favored. There's something about that. They were brave. I feel like I'm getting emotional in your reading. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little emotional. If there's anything that has... Give me a moment. Thank you. Yeah, see, and there's even money over here too. This is also feels somewhat similar to, I think it's Aries. It's very similar to Aries. I don't know if you have Aries in your chart or any of that kind of good stuff. Give me a moment here, Aquas. Take a deep breath. Pretend there's a commercial here. Something to break it up. Okay, so it's bringing me back to the Tragically Hip. And it's funny because now their name is coming through. The Tragically Hip. There could have been a male that has passed around you, father, grandfather, partner. And now I feel nervous. I feel nervous that it's like they were my rock. They were just somebody very important in my life that helped me stabilize. Again, it's coming and that's why I'm thinking it's like a parent or something, because I'm seeing the fence and the house and the wool. They provided for me. They provided well. The exchange in the partnership, whatever the relationship was in providing alchemy, not a tit for tat or this, that, or the other. This was an elegance of alchemy. And maybe this is a relationship you're in, and that's fantastic. But there's definitely a gentleman spirit stepping forward that has passed, because he I'm going to use the word hovers. It's not the right word. Consoles a female, feminine energy, male or female expressed, but I'm seeing it as feminine. And he consoles her. Aquas, if this is also something about when it's bringing me into the Tragically Hip again, for those that are doing something, presenting something, maybe you're starting a channel business, this, that, or the other, and again, like 5 people show up to your channel, or there's, two, whatever the measurements are in the social media realm, right? It's like, don't let that upset you. You can feel, obviously you're going to feel that, but it's, because now I'm seeing like one of those like old school flints before you get the fire going. Healers coming through. And this is specifically coming up. Oh, okay. So for the male spirit that's here, on my stomach just growled, consoling, helping to heal. I think it's his wife. If you're his wife, or again, daughter, it's a girl. And he's trying to help you heal. As the medicine bleeds through her teeth, a river of mercy blessed by mother, seen only by those who hold her mirror. Don't be discouraged for the business folks that are, again, if you only have a few people show up, or you go to a vending thing, and whatever the case may be, please do not see that as a reflection of value. You're stepping out. If you're just coming out, if you're just stepping out, excuse me, it takes time. Like, you've been working so hard, and maybe for quite some time or a very short amount of time, it's indifferent for me to distinguish that, to validate something. What it's making me feel is that once you step out, it's like the whole world is also self-involved. So you're just kind of like walking, being, presenting, and there's something about the alchemy that you're doing that is very, I can't even see it. I can't even see it if I'm being very honest. But it's, okay, so it's like the steadfast of it. of nurturing it, including nurturing yourself, like if you're nervous, but she's holding a holly bush, a holly tree, and like Hollywood. So some of you might be in like Hollywood or something like that, or actors and actresses, or again, musicians or writers, whatever Hollywood may mean to you, but something about holly, the magic, and it's not by accident, it's called Hollywood, right? The holly holds magic, and this, you're like alchemizing, and maybe you're even like get a piece of holly so it can, again, write on a pen or something like that, or use it. I don't know what it is, because Aqua's like, I feel like it's well beyond my perception here, but it's fascinating because it's like you get to choose how you want to perceive something when you step forward. You get to choose. And knowing that they're both adjacent to you. Give me a moment, because it's bringing me back into something in here. See how there's 3 lines? And there's 3 doors. And if I may, it's like I'm seeing one of those things. I don't even know what it is, if it's a cartoon or like a circus house or something like that. But it's like, if, say, this Dracula was to go behind here and he would just pop out here. It's like any of the doors. Somebody can't follow you. I don't know if you have someone or something that has been kind of curious or will be very, very curious. Because it's kind of like they may want to know how you're doing this. And they can't figure it out. I kind of feel like I'm all over the place, but it makes perfect sense to me. So hopefully it does make sense to you. Oh my goodness, I've been rambling on forever. Okay, one moment, sorry. All right, the underworld. Hand over your known, a shift is near. Take a leap, your journey is clear. If you are nervous about stepping out in whatever shape or form you are deciding to present yourself in, that you have really been working towards, the way I'm feeling it, you have magic on your side because of what you've been, it's kind of like, I want to say, because what you've been working through very softly. That's a creepy way to say that. I just heard that in my head, and that's super creepy. I don't know if I want to say it. Okay, I'll say it, but receive or release freely. You're here, so you must enjoy a certain amount of spooky. You know how in like scary movies, and I like spooky, creepy, but I'm not so much for scary. But nonetheless, the way it's coming through is, and there's always one person that survives. You're the one that survives. You're the one that survives. All right. Taking a look at your rune. We'll bring El Llama up for you. And not to forget as well that you had, and I understand that's a little bit bright. There we go. And remember how I was seeing the elephant and the mouse at the same time? This is kind of how I'm seeing it. It's like I'm seeing a hummingbird on the butt of a llama. The llama spirit brings adaptability, perseverance, responsibility, and endurance. Yeah, you have been, for some, you're enduring grief and healing, and even likewise for those in corporate, world, creations, business, money, marriages, all that kind of good stuff. You've been persevering through it all. Not like through it all. That's probably not a great way to say that. How do I say but nicer? It's like going through the manual Rolodex to digitizing. You've just been putting in the effort, the nurturing effort, tending to the farm of your frequencies. Llamas climb slowly and safely, making sure that their footing is always secure. Your llama spirit can help you overcome hurdles, teaches worthy goals can be reached with extra effort and hard work. It's bringing me into the Tragically Hip. Once again, If I remember, Aquas, I will put a link below to one of their songs that's stepping forward in my mind here. If you're not familiar with the Tragically Hip, but nonetheless, you like with the dreams and the llama, you have been adapting, going from old school Rolodex to digitizing something. The responsibility and the rewards of receiving, the persevering and the endurance. Okay, so why? Because there's a time and a place, and otherwise it might be misunderstood. Okay, so thank you. For some of your aquas, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get ready to close out here. The song specifically I'm going to put down below, because I'm going to write it down so I do remember, is from the Tragically Hip called You Are Ahead by a Century. You are ahead by a century. You are ahead by a century. Okay, and so some of you aquas it's either like you're coming into your century, the Aquarian century. And with Grace, interesting. Okay, I might put 2 songs. Grace 2, interesting. What's been leading up to, if something felt out of time, is coming into time because you've dedicated time. And I don't mean time like TikTok. I mean your time, what you value, what you nurture, what you give attention to, and all that kind of good stuff. Aquas, I'm going to leave it here before I ramble on and on and on. I hope that you are well, healing, and I really look forward to seeing your ink blot next round. I want to thank you so much for being here with me. I am honored, and all the links are below nonetheless, and I'm going to sneeze in a minute, so I'm going to let you go. I will scry with you later. Bye. Oh, I gotta sneeze. The world, you are ahead by a century.